So, hi there. I was nominated by a couple of people, actually, that I know of anyway. One was BJ Colonel, which was very nice of him, and the other one was Wargaming with Gary, which again was very nice of him. He was Gary, for example, was very complimentary about me for some strange reason, seeing that we'd met at Salute and what a knowledgeable bloke I was about history and all that. I forgot to mention what a bloody thorough all-round entertainer I am, so thanks Gary, mate, comedian, witty, erudite, eloquent. Apart from that, you were alright, but yes. So, I remember when I think I was even still at primary school, when my dad used to take me to the local library, and also the library at school had a few of these books, so I started finding books by Donald Featherston, Charles Grant, and was absolutely fascinated by them, and read all the ones I could possibly find. One of the ones that was particularly interesting to me, I don't remember if it was Grant or Featherston, but he'd set a campaign world in 18th century Central Europe, so Germany, and he had all these made-up states, and they had bicorn hats and grenadiers and mortars and artillery and cavalry and all that, and he had all the flags were painted with the flag of that supposed city-state or small nation, and used to fight with those. And I remember he'd made coat hangers into the shape of canister fire, and also a circular one with various bits in it, quadrants in it, for doing mortar stuff, a bit like this one actually that I did, in fact exactly like this one. So I did that one the other day and just painted the dice to represent where the mortar thing is going to fire, so that's stood with me, stood in my memory since all that way back, which must have been the late 60s, early 70s. And of course in the late 60s, early 70s we were all airfix mad. I used to paint the planes and tanks and guns and all that sort of stuff, and the ships, and managed to build up quite a lot of airfix soldiers, lots and lots of them. The 132 scale as well, I had thousands of them, because my mum used to go to Jumble Sales and bring me back another load that somebody had offloaded there, and my dad used to go to Woolworths and bring me back a box every now and then as well. And yes, I had thousands of them. And of course when I went home a few years back and I was asking where they'd all gone, they'd all been chucked out, so I was so naffed off. That was one of the reasons why I decided to start a YouTube channel and get the airfix soldiers back and paint them as I paint them now, because for a lot of the 80s I started doing Dungeons and Dragons, like again a lot of us. Blimey, it's hot up here. I've not been doing much painting recently because it's just too damned hot. And notice the beard's gone. Yeah, it took all about 2 minutes. It was like shearing a sheep. But yeah, back to it. So yeah, I painted a lot of Dungeons and Dragons characters in the 80s, and really enjoyed that. Started learning. Got some mates showed me some techniques like dry brushing and washing and all of that. And dry brushing armour was always one of my favourites. Loved all that. And then sort of gave up for a little while. My girlfriend at the time bought me a Prince August box of moulds of British Line Infantry, so I used up all the lead I had for those, and then painted them and then put them away. Until about 5-6 years ago, when I started my channel by watching people like Blucher 1815 Red, who I think was the main influence on me because he was doing 172 scale Napoleonics and doing them very nicely. That's who I learnt my technique of painting horses from, and that has spread. It's not just me that does it that way. A few people do it that way with the ink. So he's left a legacy, Blucher. God bless him. Shame he doesn't come back. But yeah, I found his stuff very entertaining. And Ringo as well. I watched all of Ringo's videos. He was very good. And again, he's another one that would be great to see back again. I know he pops up every now and then with one, but Ringo is a big influence on my early YouTube stuff. And of course, I've been watching Fraser and British Legion and lots of others in the meantime. Leon, Gary. So yeah. So where do I see myself in 5 years' time? Which will be not that far off, really, is it? I mean, I've been doing this channel for 5-6 years now, so it will be, I'm 50% there. What I would like to do, I'll obviously carry on doing what I'm doing. I'm running out of space for soldiers now, but I'm just going to have to be creative with that. And get rid of some junk I've got up here in the man cave, because I've got shed loads of stuff up here that I'm just hanging on to it for no apparent reason. Lots of stuff hidden in the sides of the loft either side. Could all be cleared out, and that would create me some space. Maybe make some sort of storage system in there. That would be an idea, wouldn't it? Why not do that? What I'd like to do with my channel is do a bit more history stuff, really. I do bang on about it, I know, but people seem to like me talking just off the top of my head about something. I've already put feelers out to a couple of guys in the community saying, you know, why don't you and me have a chat about something like the unification of Germany, or you know, the Crimean War, or something like that. And okay, I've got a bit of a head start on that because I'm pretty well qualified in history, and it is one of my main bags, and I'm of course fascinated by it. And I'd like to learn about something I'm not quite so au fait with. I mean, I can also talk about things like the Boer Wars, Zulu War, Anglo-Saxons, all the English Civil War, all the stuff I do know a lot about, because that's what I've got bloody qualifications in. So if anybody is interested in it, I mean, it wouldn't be a case of somebody asking me a question and I just rant for half an hour. We just have a sort of debate, discussion, 50-50 talks, or, you know, we sort of gen up on something for a few days and say, what did you find interesting about that? What do you think about this? And I'd maybe throw in the odd little bit of information or whatever, and we'd just generally have a chat about something, you know, not me being the main guy. So if, let's say, if you're interested in doing something like that, you know, we can put figures on in it as well. You know, it doesn't have to just be two talking heads. I'd like to do something like that. So yeah, as I say, if you're interested in doing something like that, then let me know, and we'll see what we can do. You know, we can record a Zoom session or something like that. Might be one way of doing it, because you can record them and then post them, and then of course you can edit it if we cock up or say something rude. As for getting started doing a YouTube channel, well, I sort of just piled into it, and you should just do the same. Don't be worried about not having content that people aren't going to watch, because many others have said this as well. People will watch it anyway. You know, they will watch paint dry, and often do, particularly on mine. So yeah, don't be afraid to do it. If you've got a particular interest, then show it off. One thing that will be beneficial is that the more you do, the better at it you'll get. You'll get an awful lot of positive feedback. It's extremely rare you see anything negative in this genre, so don't worry about that. Everybody be very positive, and also give you a lot of advice, tips, ask people questions, you know, just generally join the community as a producer. And just let us know. If you are starting a channel and you've watched this one, then tell me, and I'll tell other people about it and mention it. And we're always giving shout outs to new channels and saying, you know, check this one out, and then you'll build your subscribers up. Another thing that I've noticed after a while as well, which is pretty damn cool, and I didn't expect, was when you post a video, and you've got quite a lot of videos on YouTube, as I have now. For example, I published one this week, and I watch it back just to read the comments, and then down the side you see all these, you might want to watch this next, suggestions. And the coolest thing is when half of them are your own channel, then It's great. I love that. I'm not really an egomaniac, but it does make me chuckle and makes me think I've sort of made it there. But I can watch all my bloody videos anyway, so I will click on them from time to time and just think, oh yeah, I remember doing that. And another thing I enjoy from having a library is it's a diary, isn't it? You know, it's your progress. Particularly if you paint the same figures again, which I'm tending to do now. You know, you've done one British infantry, you look back on the video that you did and think, oh shit, I didn't paint that the right colour. So yeah, it's very, very handy. And the other thing is as well, when you make a video and you're doing the editing on it, you find all the bits that you've messed up because you've got a much closer view of it. So I'm always finding, oh, I haven't finished, or I didn't paint that musket on the other side, or why did I miss half of the boot? Why is that saddle not right? You know, lots and lots of things like that. You'll actually see things that need correcting. You can leave the video as it is, or you can just put in the and here's the bit that I finished edit at the end, just showing that yes, you spotted it as well, because you will get people saying you haven't done that right, or you missed that bit, which is fine. You know, by all means carry on, do that, because you know we like to do these things better. And another thing that I've noticed as well over this time, because I've really been painting again for maybe 6 years now, is that I've improved in what I'm doing. That's because I'm more experienced, and that's it. It's putting in the hours, it's putting in the time. The more you do something, the better you get at it. I mean, it's difficult to improve on some things, but you might spot something good that somebody else has done, and if you've watched a paint through video that they're doing, like me and Fraser have been doing at the moment, we've been doing, and I'm sure there's plenty of others doing it as well. It's not just me and him, so people tend to enjoy those as well. You know, they get to see hear the thought process, and you know why you're doing it. Then I sling in some of my usual nonsense about some period that's fascinating in me at the time. So yeah, sorry about the heat, but God blimey, it's hot. I think most of the people I was going to mention have probably already done a video anyway. I know some of them, but I'm not sure if Mary Hinge has done one yet. So if you're watching, mate, I'll nominate you, because I think time's running out for this particular meme. So I'll ask you to do one, and as I say, I think everybody else I would have mentioned has already done one. So there you go. That's me, and I am a wargamer. And thanks for watching, and thanks for all the positive comments I've had over the last 5 years. I'm not going anywhere soon, hopefully. Unless the wife finds out about how much I've been spending on soldiers, but we shall see. So yeah, I've really appreciated doing these videos, really appreciated the feedback. I've noticed as well, by watching people and subscribing to them as well, then they're subscribing back. There's a lot of channels I've never even heard of have popped up under this title, so I've been watching them and, you know, showing my support for them by subscribing and watching some of their videos, seeing what they're about, and been getting a few back from them as well. So yeah, well done. And I'm heading towards 600 subs now, so maybe I'll get some more. Thanks a lot, and see ya.